Paul, the MMA Shark, and I want to break down another fight that I am super excited for this Saturday night on UFC Vegas 69. And that fight is none other than Jim Miller taking on Alexander Hernandez. Now, if you know Jim Miller, if you know MMA, UFC whatsoever, you know Jim Miller. Jim Miller will be making his 40th walk to the octagon this Saturday night. Training out of New Jersey, I've known Jim a long time. He's as tough as it comes. He's got the most wins in UFC history at 24. And he's also got 11 wins by submission. 39 years old, he's aging, but he's on a 3-fight win streak. And all 3 of those wins have come by stoppage. Of course, he retired Donald Cowboy Cerrone last year. He choked him out in the second round. A fight that was pretty close in the first round. It looked like Jim had the speed advantage on him, though. He also knocked out Nicholas Mota. Mota, coming into the UFC at 12-3 at the time, was a huge favorite, and Jim Miller knocks him out in the first round. Prior to that, he knocked out Eric Gonzalez. So Jim Miller has not lost since April of 2021. Coming into this fight as hot as he is, Jim Miller is somebody not to sleep on in this fight. He is a plus 165 underdog right now, which I think is right. I think that's the right line because Alexander, the great ape Hernandez, has definitely got hands. Training at a Factory X Muay Thai. He is 30 years old. He has been slumping, though. You know, ever since his win over Mike Breeden at 155 pounds, he hasn't looked the same. He took on Renato Moicano. He got submitted in the second round. So he made the choice to drop down to 145, where he successfully made the weight. And it was really a war going on with Billy Quarantillo. He dominated a very fast Billy Quarantillo on the feet in the first round. He dominated a mediocre fast Billy Quarantillo the first 2.5 minutes of the second round. But then he gassed. And once he gassed, he got knocked out. And, you know, he's got a great chin on him. He took a ton of punches from Billy Quarantillo. He didn't falter, but it was a standing TKO. You know, there were so many unanswered strikes that there was no reason not to stop the fight by then. But he does have a lot of knockout wins. He was knocked out by Cowboy Cerrone. That was a little bit more of Cerrone's prime still in 2019, 4 years ago. So in a fight like this, you got to look for Alexander Hernandez to come guns blazing, defending the takedown, using his defensive wrestling, and hoping to land some shots early in this fight versus Jim Miller. Kind of take Jim out of the fight quick. Because if this fight goes to the second or third round, you almost have to think a live bet might be in line for Jim Miller. You know, I know Jim Miller has cardio issues too, and I wouldn't call them issues. Jim Miller's in tip-top shape. It's just, you know, he's 39 years old, and he's been doing this for a very long time. So 2 very dangerous fighters, 2 very dangerous fight styles. But I think the fight style is actually a little closer than expected because over his last couple fights, Jim Miller has found hands. So he's capable of throwing, and he's not going to throw the volume that Billy Quarantillo has been throwing in the last fight that Alexander Hernandez had, but he could throw with the same type of power. So can Billy keep this fight on the feet? Can Billy not gas him? I'm sorry, not Billy. Can Alexander keep this fight on the feet and hit Jim Miller with enough significant strikes to hurt him in the first round and slow him down? Or does Jim Miller evade the first round, maybe get an early takedown when they're dry and look for an early submission? I look for this to be one of the fights of the night, this Saturday night on UFC Vegas 69. If you want to get signed up with me, get all my picks directly texted to you, www.themmashark.com. And to celebrate the new partnership, the new sponsorship deal with LFA, I have code LFA153, big card coming at Friday night out of Hammond, LFA 153. You get half off your first month subscription to the MMA Shark, where you will get all of my plays, all of my props, all of my parlays for all UFC, Bellator, PFL, Cage Warriors, ONE FC. I even throw in bare knuckle boxing and major boxing plays, PFL Challenger Series, Dana White's Contender Series. We handicap it all. We are up over 500 units since last January, so cash and tickets left and right. One of my fights of the night that I'm looking forward to, again, is Jim Miller, UFC record-winning fighter, versus Alexander Hernandez. I expect fireworks. I expect that there will not be a judging robbery in this fight because the judges basically can take this fight off. For that, I am out. www.themmashark.com. Enjoy the fights this weekend.